Welcome back to For Real. It's Wednesday, and that means it's time for the News Moto, where you get to watch footage of a ride in Cambodia, and I update you on the news of the week. We're going to alternate between Jeremy's rides and guest rides from other channels when we have them, and this week we'd like to thank Pat from Cambo Vlogs for providing the ride. I'm guessing most of you know and watch Cambo Vlogs, but if you don't, you should go and check out his channel. He has literally hundreds of videos covering pretty much all aspects of life in Cambodia. He speaks fluent Khmer, and my favourite videos are the ones that show the positive interactions he has with people as a result of that. He's got loads of subscribers, which is wonderful, but if you're late to the party, there's always room for a few more. At For Real, we donate all of the money we earn from YouTube to charities in Cambodia. Here is the total we've donated so far. Simply watching our videos helps us to earn this money, so your time here on our channel directly helps people in Cambodia. Please subscribe if you haven't already. There's a tiny little button in the bottom right of the screen where you can do it right now. Today is Wednesday the 15th of February, and in this episode we will look at the first flights coming in from China. What has changed? Will Cambodia benefit more from these tourists than it did in the past? A train comes off the rails in Battambang, and a love scam is also derailed. Cambodian youths swap sex for a meal with their families on Valentine's Day, and a crocodile is flung from a moving vehicle in Siem Reap. We've got it all this week. An Air China flight with 125 Chinese passengers on board landed in Phnom Penh this week, signalling the return of Chinese tourists. The plane was given the traditional water cannon salute at the airport. As the Chinese travellers disembarked the plane, they were accorded a warm welcome led by the tourism minister. All we got was COVID, and that was from the transfer lounge in Manila. The Air China flight was the first flight from Beijing to Phnom Penh after China allowed its citizens to travel abroad on the 8th of January by endorsing group tourism to a short list of selected countries. The Chinese tourists are expected to visit the capital city of Phnom Penh, the cultural province of Siem Reap, and the coastal province of Prea Sihanouk during their 5-day tour. Cambodia is hoping to attract 800,000 to 1 million Chinese tourists in 2023. The first flights into Siem Reap from Kunming and Shanghai will arrive tomorrow, that's the 16th of February. The UN World Tourism Organization has projected that the international tourist arrivals could reach 80 to 95% of pre-pandemic levels this year. Global travel in 2022 was at about 63% of pre-pandemic levels. Southeast Asian countries have become the most popular travel destinations for Chinese tourists since the resumption of outbound tourism. Thailand, Cambodia, Singapore, Malaysia and Indonesia have emerged as the top destinations. To make travel to Cambodia even easier and more attractive for Chinese tourists, the Minister of Tourism announced that the kingdom will allow the use of Chinese currency at all hotels and restaurants, as well as for all tourism services. This is a big change, and I really hope it leads to Chinese tourists spending their money more widely than they did before. A cynical person might say that this move is really just cutting out the money exchanges. At present, 27 airlines, including 6 from China, are operating flights to and from Cambodia. The Apsara National Authority is pleased to announce that restoration of the West Gate of Ta Prohm is now complete. The West Gate is the main entrance to the iconic Tomb Raider temple. The gate was closed to visitors in January to permit maintenance and installation of support beams in the centre of the gate to ensure safety and security of tourists. The restoration project was undertaken with an international team of archaeologists, and restorations at that particular temple are financed by the Government of India. Residents living along train tracks were reminded of the danger when a container fell off a freight train and damaged 2 homes as they landed. This freak accident happened in Battambang. People at the scene said that the train was passing through the area carrying containers of goods and rice. Suddenly, the wheels broke down, causing the container to fall off the train and onto the 2 homes. Fortunately, no one was injured in the incident. The owner of the railway company organised a crane to lift the train and container from the scene and ordered the repair of the 2 damaged homes. Hopefully, a few bags of rice were also left at the scene. An illegally constructed boundary fence built in the middle of a beach in Sihanoukville has been dismantled. The move to demolish the wall came after public outcry against the unsightly and controversial structure. The provincial deputy governor said yesterday that provincial officials demolished the fence last week. The provincial authorities communicated their plans to remove the fence to the owner of the property, which is located on a former naval police unit adjacent to the beach. The new fence encroached directly onto the beach and was only 4 metres from the water. Hopefully this is the start of a bigger crackdown on illegal structures in the once peaceful beach town. Cambodian youth's attitudes towards Valentine's Day is changing every year from love affairs to becoming a day for sharing love with family members, relatives, teachers and friends due to education from the relevant authorities. Those relevant authorities are certainly keeping themselves busy. Valentine's Day is not a facet of Cambodian culture, however, its popularity began growing 10 years ago among the youth. At that time, it was centred around sex, but today, the youth understand how this miscreant behaviour is not a facet of traditional Khmer culture. I think the relevant authorities might have their heads in the sand in this case, but I digress. A culture ministry spokesman said on Valentine's Day, people should share their love and gratitude to everyone in their community, including their spouse, parents, relatives, friends, poor people, orphans, and people with disabilities. This approach can turn the day into one that is beneficial to society. An independent researcher on public health said youths are less interested in Valentine's Day due to the education they have received from the relevant authorities and families on the right way to enjoy the day. Research conducted amongst 15 to 24-year-olds in Phnom Penh has found that in 2009, 81% of youths would hang out in romantic places such as KTV, restaurants, or the cinemas. However, in 2019, that figure had dropped to 42.5%, and youth preferred to go to the supermarket or have meals together with their families instead. Does this mean the infiltration of Western culture has been slowed? I hope so, and I hope that we never see those golden arches appearing in the kingdom. From one love scam to another. A Nigerian man and a Cambodian woman have been arrested on suspicion of running a $10,000 social media love scam scheme. The Department of Technology Crimes of the National Police arrested the two, a 41-year-old Nigerian prince and a 39-year-old Cambodian woman. Authorities say that the pair duped love-struck men into depositing thousands of dollars into bank accounts that they controlled. The victims were told that the payments were a fee to facilitate the movement of goods through international departure points, such as Siem Reap International Airport. After a number of victims complained, the two were arrested. It's now motor madness time. A woman was involved in a high-speed luxury car crash in central Phnom Penh. According to residents at the scene, before the incident, a black Lexus RX 330 driven by a female foreign national was seen travelling along Sihanoukville Road from west to east at a high speed. The driver lost control of her vehicle and smashed into our striped saviour, the road divider. Luckily, the road divider was only slightly damaged. There were no injuries resulting from the crash. A drunk driver had a close encounter with an advertising sign, appropriately enough, advertising alcohol in Phnom Penh. According to sources at the scene, before the incident, they saw a gold Toyota Camry travelling along Route 271 in the direction from east to west at high speed. How reliable can these sources be if they report a gold Camry travelling at high speed, I ask you? The inebriated driver lost control of his Camry and smashed into the huge sign, causing severe damage both to his car and the sign. The unfortunate driver then fled into the inky black Phnom Penh night, leaving authorities to clear up the mess. Camry drivers just cannot be trusted. Now we have an only in Cambodia story. Monks are used to caring for stray dogs and cats at pagodas in Cambodia. However, monks at a Siem Reap pagoda were left scratching their heads after a crocodile was left for them to look after. The errant reptile was apparently dumped from a car. A passerby collected the croc and took it straight to the Wat in Siem Reap. Monks are appealing to the owner of the croc to come and collect it as they do not have facilities to care for large carnivorous reptiles at their pagoda. And to finish, we have a good news story. Representatives of participating countries from the Asia and Pacific region, together with the UN, have committed to reducing plastic waste through recycling. The 3-day 11th Regional 3R event was held in Cambodia. 5 cities in the kingdom and 5 other Asian countries signed the 3R Declaration on Clean Water, Clean Land and Fresh Air goals during the meeting in Siem Reap City last week. The other 5 countries that signed the 3R Declaration were Japan, India, Indonesia, Malaysia and Thailand. Once again, that brings us to the end of this week's news. You're now up to date with all of the most important events in the kingdom. We would like to say a big thank you to Pat from Cambo Vlogs for sharing this ride with us. We love the community of YouTubers here in Cambodia, and supporting each other is a wonderful thing. We appreciate it very much. Thank you for watching, take care, have a great week, and we'll see you very soon.